to your fight night, your CCW fight night stream. Again, this is the first stream we've done in a week. Unfortunately, I missed last week's stream because of some family was in town, so wasn't able to stream last week. But we're back. We're back tonight with Fight Night. I hope that you guys got a chance to watch the show. To watch our show that we recorded and put up on to watch the show that we put up on Tuesday and Wednesday for both Dark Side and Fight Night. Fight Night being on Tuesday, and of course oh my god. Fight Night being on Tuesday and Dark Side being on Wednesday. Jesus. Just give me a second here. Yeah, so we're back. We're back. This is our first live stream fight night for a week. And I hope that you guys enjoy the card that we've got for you guys tonight. Let's break that down right now. So 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to. This match was scheduled to happen. Unfortunately, it did not, due to Nick E attacking Garrett from behind as he made his way to the ring. Tonight, we're gonna see it: Ethan versus Garrett in singles competition to kick off this episode of Fight Night. In a very big way. Again, Garrett, who on the show was at home last week with some injuries, still suffering from some injuries from the brutal assault that he was laid out with. Tonight, he steps back in the ring with Ethan, who is looking to pick up yet another Chicken Tendy Crew win after a very successful Dark Side for the Chicken Tendy Crew. Of course, the Chicken Tendy Crew, Nate Dogg, David, and Ethan beating the Anarchists in a 3-on-2 handicap match, and then Nick picking up a win with Minik in a mixed tag match later that night. But so Ethan looking to continue the momentum for the Chicken Tendy Crew. Garrett looking to reassert himself here on the male roster after having to sit out for a week and being jumped from behind the week before. And in our second match, it's the second straight week where we're going to take one half of Cena Tower and put them up against one half of the Time Travelers. Tonight it's going to be Christian versus Retro Jordan. Of course, Nick T last week in a huge victory, earned a huge victory over Willie the Wheel in singles competition, to give a little bit of momentum heading into what assuredly is going to be a tag team title match down the road. Tonight, Retro Jordan looks to take back a little bit of that momentum for his side, but he'll have to do it against Christian. And ladies and gentlemen, also tonight we're going to see Riley, one half of the Heartbreak Chicks, taking on Emily, one half of the Femme Fatale, in singles competition. Riley hoping to take a little bit of to take a page out of her partner's book by winning a CCW Fight Night match. Of course, JP last week beating Shan in singles competition. And of course, looking to upset a top contender in the women's division, Emily, who a number of weeks ago also beat Shan in a submission match. But as of late, Emily and especially CC at ringside haven't been as lucky Of course, they lost that 6-women elimination tag team matchup last week to Chelsea, Tamara, and Sarah. So Emily looking to get back a little bit of momentum here tonight by trying to pick up a win over Riley. In the next match, we're going to take a look at tonight. It's going to be an open weight division match. It's going to be Nick E. taking on Logan Matrix. Nick E. has now come out and said this week that he's proven his point with Garrett and Aiden. In Nick's mind, he is done with Garrett and Aiden. Nick has proven that he didn't need them; they needed him to be championship worthy competitors. So, according to Nick, that has now been put in the past. He is looking forward to getting to the top of the Openweight Championship division. And that is why tonight he is going to take on the man who beat him to become the inaugural Openweight champion, Logan Matrix. And in Nick's mind, this will put him one step closer to challenging Brad for the Openweight Championship. We will see if he can get a win here tonight. And of course, last week on Fight Night, 2 weeks ago on Fight Night, Daniel came out and jumped Dustin, the Canadian champion, after his matchup against Dylan, making a loud statement that Daniel wants the Canadian championship. Well, last week he said that what he's going to do to earn his way to a Canadian championship victory, or to a Canadian championship match, he is going to compete in the same matches as Dustin and beat his opponents faster and more brutally than Dustin ever could to earn his right to face the champion in a future match. Well, last week, he was scheduled to go one-on-one with Dylan, but was jumped before the bell. Therefore, tonight, Daniel has said he wants his match. And if Dustin lays his hands on Dustin will be stripped of the Canadian Championship. So huge stakes here. Of course, Daniel trying to earn his way to the Canadian Championship. But ladies and gentlemen, we have one hell of a main event. It is going to be Monique, our women's champion, putting her championship on the line against Chelsea. This has been brewing for weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Now cast your mind back to the first episode of Fight Night in this rebrand some 3 weeks ago, when we had the triple threat match to determine the number one contender to the Canadian Women's Championship, which was won by Chelsea. The following week on Fight Night, Sarah would pin the champion in one-on-one non-title action, as they gained as the originals, Sarah, Tamara, and Chelsea. Sarah and Chelsea would gain momentum heading towards this title match. And then, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, on the inaugural episode of Dark Side, Tamara, the powerhouse of the team, would debut. They would continue. She would win her debut match before last week, where they beat Monique's team in a 3-on-3 elimination tag team matchup, saving the women's champion for last, where Chelsea would get the pin. The momentum seems to be all in the corner of Chelsea. Can the women's champion, Monique, hold on to her championship tonight? We will find out. Let's get things started and head down to ringside. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this match has been 3 weeks now. 2 weeks in the making. Of course, this was scheduled for 2 weeks ago. Ethan and Garrett to go one-on-one. Yes, this is the Celtic Fan 97. You jerk. Of course, Ethan is scheduled to go one-on-one with Garrett. 2 weeks ago, Garrett jumped from behind by his former tag team partner, Nick E., so the match would not get underway. And then, of course, last week... Aiden would go one-on-one with Nick E., where Aiden would tap out. Tonight, Garrett is back, and he is looking for some revenge. So he's going to go one-on-one with Ethan, 1/3 of the Chicken Tendy crew, the Mafia of Pro Wrestling, tonight in singles competition. Oh, I love you too, boo. Excuse me. But yes, so a lot at stake here. Not in terms of championship status, as of course these two men really still trying to get their footing under them. But let's go down to ringside for ring introductions. Of course, making his way to the ring, accompanied by David and Nate Dogg. It's Ethan. Oh, they're gone. Okay, Roger. But Ethan making his way to the ring, looking to continue the winning ways of the Chicken Tendy crew. Of course, this past Wednesday night on the Wednesday night edition of Dark Side, Ethan, Nate Dogg, and David picking up a huge win, 3-on-2 handicap match over the Anarchists. And the Chicken Tendy crew looking to continue the roll here tonight. Three out of five members in action here tonight. Ethan, Nick E., and Daniel later on tonight will be in action. And of course, all of them hoping to pick up wins as they look to add some gold to the waist of the Chicken Tendy crew. Never, ever, ever, ever will never be dropping a face reveal cam. I'm too broke to afford the PlayStation camera, bro. Too broke. Can't do it. And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Finally going to step in the ring for the first time in 4 weeks. Garrett, he's had a little bit of a rocky start here to his CCW career. Of course, not booked on the first show. Taken out on episode number 2. And then sitting on the sidelines for episode number 3, but finally going to step in the ring here. And this should be a spectacular match full of athletic maneuvers as Ethan goes one-on-one with Garrett. And here we go. Bell has rung both these competitors. Similar height, but the power advantage definitely got to go to Ethan. But Garrett early advantage here. Garrett now to the top rope. Big body splash and WWE 2K22. Still a WWE game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and big head scissors there by Garrett. Dropping the elbow across the chest of Ethan. And, of course, if you're Garrett, you want to look out for those two menacing figures at ringside. David and Nate Dogg, the powerhouse tag team of the Chicken Tendy crew. Yeah, baby. Bringing that BDE. And now Ethan definitely in control. Big pump handle here. Oh, into the gut buster. Into the cover goes Ethan. 1. And a kick out by Garrett. But as I was saying, if you're Garrett, you got to watch out for the two powerhouse tag team at ringside, Nate Dogg and David. As mean as they come in the Chicken Tendy crew. And now Ethan going to send Garrett to the outside. And if you're Ethan, Oh, as he splats to the floor on the outside. Nate Dogg running over. But if you're Ethan, you got to keep an eye out for Aiden sitting over there in the corner. Of course, the former world champion here in CCW. And Garrett, no slouch either, former tag team champion, former longest reigning tag team champion with Nick E. And now Garrett back into the ring. Ethan shaking off the cobwebs a little bit, and Garrett going to taunt to the crowd. Oh, and over the top rope goes Garrett. Ethan laid out on the floor. And Garrett taking it to Ethan right now. And you know that Daniel is in the back watching this matchup, as he had a meeting a couple of weeks ago with the he had a meeting before last week's show with the Chicken Tendy crew, telling them that they needed to pick up their game. They needed to bring the intensity in their matches and start picking up some wins. And that was, of course, when they started picking up wins. Suicide dive through the middle rope. But yeah, Daniel very much saying that these guys needed to step their game up, and the Chicken Tendy crew have, as of so far, picking up a number of wins in a row. And Ethan looking to add to that win total tonight. Now going to send Garrett back inside the ring, and that's what you got to do. You got to beat him inside the ring, get him back in there. Oh, and Garrett fighting his way back up. And neither one of these two men is going to quit. Dan must be tired of carrying those scrubs. Well, when Daniel gets his first win, we'll let you know. It seems like, oh, and big corner drop kick, and then the double stop to the midsection. This could be it for Ethan. Into the cover, 1, 2. I want to kick out by Ethan. It seems as though Daniel, usually when he's trying to motivate his team to pick up more wins, is because he also can't pick up any wins. But again, we'll see here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see if Daniel can pick up his first win for the Chicken Tendy crew tonight, as he takes on Dylan later on. And now Ethan throwing Garrett into the corner. Big back elbow catches Ethan. Oh, what is this? Suplex. Standing vertical suplex that drops Ethan. Garrett going to drag him, middle of the ring. Into the cover goes Garrett. 1, 2, and a kick out by Ethan. Ethan's not going to give up. I don't know what Garrett is thinking here. Ethan is not going to give up, and now into the sharpshooter. Ethan puts Garrett in the sharpshooter. Will Garrett tap out here? Ethan working away. But no, Garrett going to fight his way out of it. And now Ethan. Big snap suplex of his own. Dragging Garrett. Middle of the ring. Into the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Garrett. And both of these men would mean so much for them to win here tonight. Of course, for Ethan, it would get him his first singles victory here in CCW, as he looks to go for the snapshot. Snapshot to Garrett. I think he busted him open. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Ethan picks up the win here tonight with the snapshot. His first singles victory here in CCW. What a win for Ethan. And unfortunately for Garrett, a not so happy debut, in-ring debut for him. He's busted open, and the disappointment clearly written on his face. You get jumped from behind, you get put out of action for a week, and you come back and you can't pick up the win. That's got to be frustrating. And you can definitely feel for Garrett right now, the frustration of having to go through all of that and not being able to pick up your first win here in CCW. Oh, shit. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our next match, which is, of course, Christian versus Retro Jordan. Christian versus Retro Jordan. Of course, Christian and Nick T, CN Tower. Week 1, coming in here, winning the triple threat tag team ladder match to become the tag team title, to become the tag team champions. The next week, they would challenge Retro Jordan and Willie the Wheel to a non-title match on Fight Night. Willie the Wheel and Retro Jordan would actually end up winning that match. So, to get a little bit of momentum back on their side, Nick T and Christian have decided that they want to face them individually in singles matches. Last week, Nick T took on Willie the Wheel and was successful in beating Willie the Wheel. Tonight, Christian and Retro Jordan battle for a little bit of momentum of their own as we send it to ringside for ring introductions. Also, a quick question for the one person in the chat. Hope you're enjoying your Friday. I got a nice cold can of beer next to me. I'm having a nice cold can. Getting ready for the weekend. And here comes Christian, the Saskatchewan savior, of course. The man, one half of the tag team champions, getting in the ring right now. And he looks to pick up a big victory over Retro Jordan here tonight. Looking to follow in the footsteps of his tag team partner, Nick T. But easier said than done, especially when it comes to Retro Jordan. And for those of you who aren't aware, Retro Jordan, of course, a huge wrestler in the 1960s. Was the best wrestler in the 1960s, had beaten every opponent put in front of him. Every opponent you could think of. He cryogenically froze himself with specific orders to not thaw him until there was competition worthy of his skill. Well, he's been unthawed, ladies and gentlemen, and now he's making his way to the ring, showing the crowd some love. Of course, one half of the most popular tag team here in CCW, the Time Travelers, Willie the Wheel and Willie the Wheel and Retro Jordan, making up the Time Travelers, arguably one of the most popular tag team here in CCW. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Oh, buddy, you should seek some help. Please seek help. But I found that works pretty well for me, too, the past couple of years, so. Understandable. Also, putting your friends into a video game and pretending that they're wrestlers, also very fun. Yeah, I'm aware. The best therapist. Going to a therapy session costs, what, like $100 an hour? A bottle of Jack is like $40. I see the price difference there. Anyway, here we go. Retro Jordan and Christian starting off, and of course, early advantage going to Retro Jordan. And throwing Christian around. Christian going to have to use the speed, his speed advantage here tonight. In $45. $45 for 24 Moosehead. Damn, that's pretty good. I think I almost paid $45 for my fucking 12-pack of Moosehead here, so I mean, that's not bad. Did you get it in Ontario or in Quebec? Anyway, sorry, I'm back to the... Yeah, well, that makes sense. If you got in Ontario, that's... Beer's more expensive there. 2 hours worth of therapy is 24 cans of Moosehead. Well, I'm hoping that we get to do some therapy when I come back in June-ish, brother. So, fuck. Yeah, Christian now taking back the advantage. Praise Doug Ford for a buck of beer. That's a good one. Now Christian looking to hit. Oh, the step back, the rewinder, and rope break by Retro Jordan. Yeah, praise Doug Ford for a buck of beer. Absolutely. What a genius idea that was. And how much it's helped the citizens of Ontario. And now Christian. Saskatchewan. Oh, went for the stomp, but brought into the cutter. Cutter by Retro Jordan. Retro Jordan now in control. Crushing the skull of Christian. That big vice grip, and now boom, off face first into the mat. Power slam. Off the ropes. Leg drop. That could be it. One, two, and a kick out. Agreed. I do want this. Whoever else is in the chat, I would love it if you wanted to stop in and chat a little bit, see what's going on. Christian sends a Retro Jordan the outside and barely catches him. And now Christian going to waylay away on the face of a Retro Jordan. Back inside the ring go Christian and Retro Jordan. And now Retro Jordan pressing down on the shoulders. When will I do a Hell in a Cage TLC? I really wish that I could combine all of those matches, but I'm planning on doing a couple gimmick matches for the Super card in a couple of weeks. We'll see. And Chris now in the cover, kick out at 1. And now Christian kick to the midsection. Pedigree by Christian. Lays out Retro Jordan. Now Saskatchewan stomp once again. The second Saskatchewan stomp of the match. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Christian and Nick T sweep the singles matches. 2 straight wins for Christian and Nick T over the Time Travelers. What a massive victory. And now Retro Jordan. The hand extended by Christian. And what a great sign of respect between these two buddies, these two friends. These two men who have known each other for so long. Great friends. What a great competitive matchup that was, ladies and gentlemen. And a fantastic ending, and you love to see the sign of respect after the match. What a fantastic match, and what a momentum shifter for for CN Tower. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we turn our eyes to the women's division. And in this matchup, we have Riley, one half of the Heartbreak Chicks, looking to capitalize on the success that her tag team partner JP had last week on Fight Night when JP beat Shan, looking to continue the winning streak on Fight Night in this one. But she's going to have to go up against a top contender here in the women's division, Emily. Of course, both women will be accompanied to the ring by their tag team partners, CC for Emily and JP for Riley. And ladies and gentlemen, when I assure you this is going to be a tremendous clash of styles. Riley, the more powerful competitor, Emily, the more technically sound and quick and the speedier competitor. This is going to be and they say styles make fights, styles make matches. These styles work very well together, and I'm very excited to see who comes out on top in this match. God damn. All right, let's send it down to ringside for ring introductions. And up first, here comes one half of the Heartbreak Chicks. You see flanked by JP. Well, not anymore. But one half of the Heartbreak Chicks, Riley. Of course, her first singles action here on Fight Night since she was in the Triple Threat 3 weeks ago. The Triple Threat that was ultimately won by Chelsea, who will be competing here tonight in the main event for the Women's Championship. But Riley looking to, as I said earlier, looking to continue the winning ways of the Heartbreak Chicks here on Fight Night. But she'll have to go up against a top competitor in the women's division to do so. And a top competitor, and somebody who's been a top competitor in the women's division for a very long time. Emily now making her way out to the ring. And whenever Emily steps in the arena, you know that boss babe energy. You need that boss babe energy in the arena. Gets cranked up to 11. And Daniel, I would recommend that you go back to like SmackDown Shut Your Mouth or SmackDown Know Your Rule. I think one of those games had bra and panties matches, if that's what you're looking for. But anyway, Emily making her way to the ring. Boss babe energy, of course. Emily, a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I believe, beat Shan in a submission match in what was a tremendous matchup, submitting her former friend turned bitter rival in a truly brutal matchup. And of course, that was followed up a week later by JP beating Shan in a singles competition. But tonight, no Shan in the ring, just Emily and Riley. Riley, a relatively unproven commodity here, and Emily, a very, very proven commodity here in CCW. A top contender, has fought multiple times for the women's championship. Misses the frog splash there, but taking the early advantage anyway. And now throwing the back of the head off the mat, bouncing up like a basketball. Kick to the leg, and now Emily always bringing that energy, the boss babe energy to the ring, and it's into the cover. Not even a 1 count. But the energy of, I'm the best, I'm the boss, you can't beat me. And it's generally worked out for her pretty well so far. Well, anyway, a big whip into the corner by Riley. And now Riley heading up to the second rope. Big Vader bomb to the smaller opponent, Emily. And And that is what Riley's going to have to do. Riley's going to have to tap in to that mean streak, that dark side that she has. Going to have to bring the pain to Emily if she wants to keep her down in this matchup tonight. And meanwhile, this is a pretty big match for Riley, but relatively low stakes for Emily as she's getting swung around. The power of Riley going to continue to show it off here. Oh, just launching her into the corner, into the cover. One. And rope break by Emily. And now Riley. Oh, going to continue to bring the punishment. And that's what you got to do. Big boot off the side of the head. And that's what you continue to try and do if you're Riley. You know that Emily is going to she's going to take a lot of punishment. She is going to be able to take a lot of punishment and then come back and give you even more punishment. You're going to have to stay on her as she heads to the top rope. Launched off the top rope, middle of the ring. Into the cover goes Riley. 1, 2, and a kick out. And now Riley fired up here. Big boot. Big boot again into the neck breaker. Oh, and that's usually... Oh, into the cover. I was going to say that's usually followed up by the bank statement, but into the cover, only a 2 count there. And now Emily, bank statement. Rope break. Her feet in the ropes, unfortunately, but even still, the submission hold locked in, even for a moment. Enough of a moment to get Emily the space she needs to get up to the top rope and hit the frog splash. Oh, went for the big chop, but Riley moves out of the way. Went for the big boot, kick to the inside of the leg. And now suplex. Emily's starting to fire up here. 2, kick out by Riley. But starting to fire up here, and this is what you don't want to be if you're Riley. You don't want to let Emily back into this matchup. Big neck breaker. And now, maybe going to look for the bank statement. Riley's feet in the ropes again. And now Riley, big back elbow to the midsection. And now into the power bomb position. Oh, the alley-oop. Face first into the canvas she goes. Hooks the inside leg. 1, and a kick out by Emily. Riley gonna have to fight her way out of this hole. She's left too much of an opening for Emily to get back in this matchup. And now Riley taking a majority of the punishment. Crushes the elbow into the cover. 1, 2, and a 3. And that's all she wrote, folks. That's all that Emily needed to beat Riley here tonight. The stomp to the elbow. And Emily ends the winning ways for the Heartbreak Chicks here on Fight Night. Well, a great match, but we now shift our attention to the Openweight Championship. Nick E. Logan Matrix. And a lot of confusion has come out of this matchup. Of course, Nick this week has come out and said that he believes that he's proven his point in the matter of Garrett and Aiden. He's proven that he didn't need them to be a championship level competitor. They needed him. That he has been looking out for the little guy for too long. That he needs to look out for himself. And that as a member of the Chicken Tendy crew, he can do that. He says that all the Garrett drama is now behind him, and he is now solely focused on becoming open weight champion. So tonight he says he's going to start off his quest to become the new open weight champion with the man who beat him to become the open weight champion on the very first episode of Fight Night, Logan Matrix. And let's send it down to ringside for ring introductions, as Logan Matrix going to make his way to the ring first. Of course, a very big fan, if you can't tell, of the internet series of Video Game High School. Head to toe, decked out in Video Game High School paraphernalia, gear, the Letterman jacket, all of it. And now into the ring he goes. And again, a very rocky couple of weeks for Mr. Matrix. He became the openweight champion on the first episode of Fight Night. He then, in a controversial fashion, he then lost the openweight championship the following week on Fight Night to Brad, who he screwed over in the triple threat. Last week he jumped Brad out at ringside, and now tonight he's facing off against Nick E, the guy he beat to become openweight champion in the triple threat match, but a man who is walking in the ring with some swagger after tapping out Aiden last week in pretty brutal fashion. Of course, Nick saying that he was fueled by the blood rolling down his face last week when he locked in the coquina clutch and refused to let it go until Aiden screamed the words, "I quit." And Nick hoping to follow suit with his fellow Chicken Tendy crew member Ethan, who picked up a win opening the show tonight, looking to continue to build the record for the Chicken Tendy crew as they look to assert themselves as the most dominant stable in pro wrestling today. And again, this is, in Nick's eyes, this match, if he wins this match tonight, this is his redemption for week one when he lost in the triple threat match. And then he can once again challenge for the openweight championship, but Logan Matrix not going to make it easy. He's a pretty damn good competitor in between the ropes, and he's going to make Nick work for it. Big jumping DDT off the second rope, kicking away at the arm. Oh, excuse me, trying to take away that coquina clutch, the finishing move of Nick that he loves to use, loves to make people tap out with it. Big suplex. And this is what the Openweight Championship is really all about, ladies and gentlemen. Two great in-ring competitors going at it in the ring for the right to be the Openweight Champion. And a big power bomb, dropping him on the back of his head, neck, and shoulders. And now continuing to stomp away until Logan takes the leg away from him. Big STO. And now Nick going to talk some shit to the fans. And you'll notice a lot with the Chicken Tendy crew in their matches, they like to talk a lot of shit. And that's because they can back it up. Into the bow and arrow stretch goes Logan. Is Logan going to tap out here? No. Into the cover? No. Kick out. But yeah, the Chicken Tendy crew, a real... these guys love to talk their shit. And what the hell is this? Oh my God. Nick said it was over. But in this man's eyes, it's never over. It won't be over. Garrett, chair to the face of Nick. Garrett just dropped him with a chair shot to the head. Logan Matrix now. Crawls into the cover. One. I want a kick out. Garrett just rang a chair off the skull of Nick E. What a travesty of justice. Nick has said that this thing between him and Garrett was over, that he wasn't thinking about it anymore. Well, Garrett just came out and said, it's not over, it's never over. You don't generally forget getting your skull ranged in, beaten in with a steel chair, ladies and gentlemen. And now Logan Matrix gonna pick up the scraps of what Garrett left him. Nick E is running slow. He may have a concussion, ladies and gentlemen. 2 count kick out. Logan picking up the scraps. Big forearm off the dome. And now Logan setting up. Honor roll. The honor roll. And now the top rope. Matrix, big elbow. Rope break, the foot. The foot in the ropes. And now a big kick on the face. What the hell, ladies and gentlemen? Nick fighting back now. Big boot, drops Matrix, went for the 7-star lariat. Dropped with a DDT, and Nick's been busted open again. And Matrix is enjoying this. Nick has clearly had his bell rung. And now look at this. Oh, face first into the mat. And now a modified camel clutch, but he's got to break it. His feet in the ropes. One, two, and a kick out. Nick has somehow still remained in this matchup. He's had a chair shot to the skull. Logan has kicked him every way to Sunday. And still he fights on, but another big elbow, and this is it. 1, 2, 3. Logan Matrix. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to put a big asterisk next to this match. Logan Matrix was getting his ass whipped right up until Garrett came out of here and chair-shotted Nick in the face. I am quite frankly disgusted, ladies and gentlemen. An incredible performance by both of those men, ruined because Garrett just wouldn't let Nick leave him alone. Disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. But now I have to move on from this. We move on to a different kind of personal rivalry. 2 weeks ago, Daniel, after Dustin had a matchup against Dylan, Daniel would jump him, making his intentions known that he was coming for the Canadian Championship. Daniel said that the way that he's going to prove this is he is going to beat every opponent that Dustin... He's going to face every opponent that Dustin does, and he is going to beat them and beat them down faster than Dustin did. Last week, Daniel was supposed to take on Dylan in a singles match. This match was supposed to happen last week. Unfortunately, as Daniel came to the ring, Dustin would jump Daniel from behind to get a bit of payback for the mugging that he took the week prior. Well, tonight it's official. Dylan versus Daniel. And if Dustin gets involved and physically puts his hands on Daniel, he will be stripped of the Canadian Championship. And here we go. the first man making his way to the ring, of course, Dylan, one half of the Anarchist tag team. This is a tag team. This is a man right now who is not on a positive winning record, ladies and gentlemen. Just this past Wednesday night on Dark Side, he and his partner, Donovan, stepped into the ring with 3 members of the Chicken Tendy crew and were beaten very soundly. Tonight, looking for a little bit of redemption is Dylan. Any possible bit of redemption is Dylan as he steps in the ring with the leader of the Chicken Tendy crew, Daniel. But Daniel also looking to get a little bit payback and looking to send a message to Dustin as he looks to as he continues to try and put forward the challenge to come to get Dustin's Canadian Championship. Dylan really taking his time here tonight. He knows the winning record has not been the wins have not come very often to Dylan, but hoping to pull one out here tonight. But unfortunately for Dylan, it's against this man, a top contender to the Canadian Championship, the leader of the Chicken Tendy crew, Daniel, making his way to the ring. Yeah, he's feeling pretty good tonight. And he knows that if Dustin lays his hands on him, Dustin will be stripped of the Canadian Championship. And that'll make his road to the top even easier. Of course, Daniel been with CCW since pretty much the beginning. Since the beginning, actually. Never once has he laid hands on the top prize here in CCW. Hoping that changes in the next few weeks. Hoping that he can get his hands on the Canadian Championship victory. While also hoping that the rest of his teammates in the Chicken Tendy crew can also get their hands on some gold and really run things around here. And he gets a chance to prove that he's ready for the spotlight tonight when he takes on Dylan. Of course, last week, or 2 weeks ago, Dustin was in the ring against Dylan and beat him pretty soundly. So Daniel tonight can get a chance to show that whatever Dustin can do, he can do better. But as of right now, not looking so great. Knee drop misses. And now Daniel getting his first shots of offense. Big clubbing blows to the back. Into the cover goes Daniel. Oh, and not even a count of 1. And for Daniel, he's such a difficult opponent to prepare for. He's got a little bit of speed, a little bit of power. He's got a little bit of everything as he goes in the big military press power slam. But he's got a little bit of power, a little bit of speed, a little bit of striking, a little bit of submission hold. He can go to the top rope if he wants to, as he's doing right now, calling Dylan up. And you really can't prepare for him, but power slam, reversal. But you really can't prepare for Daniel, but Dylan doing a wonderful job so far of getting his offense in when he gets the chance. Big exploder suplex, throwing Daniel overhead. And now that modified Kimmel clutch into those forearm strikes to the face. But Daniel just too powerful for Dylan to keep him down. Gonna work over that arm. Looking to get rid of the cutter. Looking to keep his opponent from using the cutter. Bold strategy here by Daniel. And now firing shots away into the forehead. And now look at the power of Daniel. Deadlift power slam. Oh, went for the spear, but DDT'd instead. And Dylan now. And this has been surprisingly even. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Dylan, but this has still been surprisingly even. Dylan is getting his shit in. He is really getting his offense in right now, and it is very surprising, at least to me, that he has lasted this long in this matchup. Although Daniel, and it's also, I guess, a surprise to Daniel, who's trying to just overpower the poor bastard now. Daniel back to the top rope. Big splash to Dylan. And you see Dylan's partner, Donovan, watching at ringside. Of course, the hardcore champion. The self-professed hardcore champion of CCW. And now suplexed by Daniel. Dylan slips out of it into a German suplex. What a chain of events that has happened here for Daniel and Dylan. Dylan going to drag him off in the center of the ring into the cover. One and a kick out. And Dylan's going to have to try a lot harder than that to pin Daniel to the mat. Big drop kick on the button. And now Dylan, every time he tries to walk away, every time he tries to get separation, Daniel stands back up and now and now short arm clothesline after the stomps to the midsection. Stomping away on the exposed extremities of Daniel before stomping him in the face. And now gonna look for the cutter. Hits it into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Dylan has beaten Daniel. Dylan has beaten Daniel. What a huge win for Dylan here tonight. Daniel bleeding from his face and now shaking hands. A tremendous show of sportsmanship here by Daniel. But ladies, what a matchup. What a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. A shock ending to that match. Daniel having his shoulders pinned to the mat. 1, 2, 3 by Dylan of all people. Shocking. But we now must move on from the shock and awe of that match to our main event tonight, which is, I have a feeling, is going to be a very good one, ladies and gentlemen. The Women's Championship on the line. Monique defends her championship against Chelsea. And this, Chelsea, Sarah, this team, the originals as they call themselves, has been building momentum gradually over the first 4 weeks of CCW Fight Night. The inaugural episode, Chelsea wins a triple threat match to become the number 1 contender to Monique's championship. Week 2, Sarah goes one-on-one with Monique and pins her in the ring, pins her in a one-on-one non-title match on a week 2 of Fight Night. Week 3, we have the inaugural episode of Dark Side, where Tamara debuts and causes a little bit and wins handedly in her first match. Follow that up with a huge 6-woman tag team elimination match last week where Chelsea gets the final pin on Monique, and the momentum seems to all be on the side of Chelsea. But if there's one thing that I know about Monique, it's that she has fought back from even bigger odds than this, and tonight she'll need to prove it. as she defends her championship for the very first time. And making her way to the ring, of course, Chelsea, flanked by Sarah and Tamara. And Chelsea, of course, has been very impressive over the past number of weeks since winning the #1 contendership. She has been very impressive, of course, in the 6-woman elimination tag team match last week, getting the final pin over the women's champion. Very impressive, and especially a week before a big title match can definitely be rattling to the women's champion. But Chelsea, again, a very athletic competitor, very tough, but a different type of scenario, as Sarah has probably explained to her, stepping in there with Manik in a 6-women tag team match versus stepping in there with the former martial artist in a singles capacity with a championship on the line. And Manik now making her way to the ring, the championship around her waist. Of course, this championship that she re-won on the first night of Fight Night, on the inaugural episode of Fight Night. She has been the women's champion for the first 4 weeks of this rebrand era, and a tremendous representative of the brand, always going out there putting on some of the greatest matches on the night. She has been a fantastic champion for us, and tonight I think that this is going to be another banger of a matchup. 2 women, 2 very tough, 2 very talented women, going to go one-on-one for a championship in the middle of a CCW ring in the main event. Chelsea being introduced, and that's one advantage that Chelsea has right off the bat is, of course, the presence of Sarah and Tamara at the ringside. Definitely bringing them out there to try and get in the head of the champ, but I don't know if the champ is worried about him. Speaking to the champ, just before the show started, the champ doesn't seem to be phased. She said, "Bring Tamara, bring Sarah, bring any person you want to. I'm gonna step in there, and I'm gonna be worried about the person across the ring from me, not the person on the outside." And that is the mindset that made her the champion when she had to compete in that 6-woman over-the-top rope battle royal. And that's the type of attitude that can keep her the championship here tonight. And we're underway here in this championship match. Early strikes from the champ. Reversal by Chelsea. Now Chelsea, a flurry of strikes of her own. Irish whip into the corner. And now Chelsea going to continue the pressure here. Big boot. Now going to beat down Manik. And now kick to the midsection. Oh. And Chelsea now in control of this matchup. Big boot, kicks her in the face, into the cover. 1 count, kick out by Manik. And I've talked a lot about the preparation, a lot about the attitude of Manik, but Chelsea, who's been training and working hard and has known about this championship match for a week now. Both of these women have known about this championship match for a week now. Big power bomb by Chelsea. So these women have only been prepping for this championship match for a week. That's all they've been doing this past week. Big elbow drop delivered by Chelsea. So I'm expecting a hell of a fight here tonight. Into the cover goes Chelsea. 1, 2, and a kick out by Manik. And the matchup here is going to be the martial arts background of Manik versus the sports background and the just general toughness of Chelsea. Big kick to the leg, and now up into the suplex, but Manik slithers out the back, and German dropping Chelsea on the back of her head and neck. Tamara and Sarah watching at ringside, and this is a dangerous situation for anybody. And now into the modified STF. She locked us in last week a couple of times, but couldn't get anything done with it. Chelsea slides out of it. Now big boot by Chelsea. Picks her up. Big slam. And now gonna reposition her opponent. Gonna go for a pin maybe. Yep, in the cover she goes. 1, 2, kick out by Monique. And now big German by Chelsea, and showing off some of the power. I guess her and Tamara have been working together over the past week to prepare for this title match. And now look at this. What a submission hold here. Is Monique going to give up? No. She's going to figure her way out of this. And now, big DDT by Monique. Monique really going to have to fight back here. She's gotten off to quite the slow start here tonight. Into the cover now. 1, 2, and a kick out by Chelsea. And now brings her up. Into the Coquina clutch. This is how she won the championship. Put her opponent in the Coquina clutch and then tossed her over the top rope. Is Chelsea going to give up? No. Back elbows to the kidney area. Into the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. Monique had to let go of the pressure, had to let go of her arms to kick out of that. But now Chelsea steps through. Sharpshooter coming. As Canadian as poutine, the sharpshooter applied here. And is Monique going to give up? Oh my God, Monique's going to tap. No, Monique will not tap. Monique has got too much heart to give up like that. But Chelsea continuing the attack. Are we going to see a new women's champion here tonight? Chelsea now. Big kick to the chest and face. Stomping away at the arm. Going to call her up to her feet. Looking for that discus lariat. No. Into the sharpshooter she goes. Rope break. Monique using the length to get to the rope, and now into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh, what a kick out by Monique. I thought that was a 3 count for sure. Chelsea's been in full control of this matchup the entire time, with only a brief flurry of offense for Monique. Chelsea looking for that sharpshooter again, perhaps, but Monique kicks her off. Big forearm jacks the jaw of Chelsea. Big DDT dropping Chelsea. Monique is going to have to fight her way out of this. But that's something that she's used to. Power bomb by Chelsea. Monique in deep, deep trouble here. Once again into this submission hold. Is Monique going to give up? Monique gives up. Monique taps out. We have a new women's champion. Chelsea is our new women's champion. The momentum continues for Chelsea. Sarah and Tamara. And now both these women, middle of the ring. And they're going to shake hands. You'll love to see it. Monique, the gracious former champion, giving props to the new champ. Congratulations to Chelsea. What an achievement. What a showing from Chelsea. Not a great back and forth match, but dominance personified for Chelsea. She came in with a game plan. She executed the game plan. And now she is the women's champion. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed our this Friday night edition of Fight Night. I'm hoping to get back on track now in terms of streaming on Fridays and releasing a recorded Dark Side on Tuesdays. I'm hoping that we're back on track with this. So I hope that you'll join us this Tuesday when we put out a new episode of Dark Side. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been my pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you guys so much. And as always, peace.